Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about problems on discrete time periodic signals. The question is like this: determine whether the discrete time signal is periodic. If periodic, find the fundamental period. Okay. And now we'll move on to the problem. First problem is like this: x of n is equal to cos 8 pi n by 7. X of n is equal to cos 8 pi n by 7. Since this is the given equation, we'll compare it with our basic cosine signal. X of n is equal to cos 8 pi n by 7, which is similar to cos 2 pi f naught n. Comparing these two, we can write it as 2 pi f naught n is equal to 8 pi n by 7. N get cancelled, pi get cancelled. We'll be left with f naught is equal to 8 by 2 into 7. 2 will move on to the denominator, which means 4. 2 ones are 2 fours are, which is equal to 4 by 7. F naught is equal to 4 by 7, that is ratio of integer to integer. This is the ratio of integer to the integer. Hence the signal is periodic. Since f naught is the ratio of integer to the integer, the signal is periodic. We need to find the fundamental period, and that is f naught is equal to k by n is the actual formula. And if we compare with f naught is equal to k by n with 4 by 7, we can mark it as n is equal to 7 is the fundamental period. Okay. If you want to know how f naught is equal to k by n we need to look back to the previous video, condition for periodicity of a discrete time signal. Okay, go back to the previous videos. Condition for periodicity of discrete and continuous time signal, we have derived f naught is equal to k by n, which is nothing but the ratio of integer to the integer. And now we got f naught as 4 by 7. Comparing it with k by n, we can write it as n is equal to 7. Hence the signal is periodic with a fundamental period n is equal to 7. Hope you understand this. To know further about problem, we can take a few more examples, like x of n is equal to 4 cos 6 pi n by 7 plus 2. 4 cos 6 pi n by 7 plus 2. Now we can compare the given expression, given signal x of n is equal to 4 cos 6 pi n by 7 plus 2 to our fundamental equation a cos 2 pi f naught n plus 5. The given expression is compared with the fundamental expression a cos 2 pi f naught n plus 5. Comparing these two, we can write it as 2 pi f naught n is equal to 6 pi n by 7. Okay. Now we can cancel n and pi get cancelled. We'll be left with f naught is equal to 6 divided by 2 into 7. 2 ones are 2 threes are, which is nothing but we'll be left with 3 by 7, that is ratio of integer to integer. This is the ratio of integer to the integer, hence the signal is periodic. Now we need to find the fundamental period to compare with k by n, which is nothing but 3 by 7. Will be left with which leads to n is equal to 7 as the fundamental. Three by 7, where comparing these two we can write n is equal to 7 as the fundamental period, where k is equal to 3. Since the value of f naught is integer to the integer, ratio of integer to the integer, the given signal, discrete time signal, is periodic with a fundamental period n is equal to 7. We got n is equal to 7 by comparing f naught is equal to k by n with f naught is equal to 3 by 7. Hope you people are getting the idea behind the periodicity. If you have doubt with respect to the derivations, please move back to the previous video and get to know how we got these values f naught is equal to k by 7 and why we are comparing it with the fundamental cosine signal. Okay. Further, if you move on with a few more examples, x of n is equal to cos 2 pi n by 5 plus cos 2 pi n by 7. And here we are having two discrete time signal summing with each other. First signal is cos 2 pi n by 5 and second signal is cos 2 pi n by 7. Since a signal is comprehensive of two more external signals, we can write it as x1 of n is equal to cos 2 pi n by 5 and x2 of n is equal to cos 2 pi n by 7, where x of n is equal to x1 of n plus x2 of n. We can mark it as like this. X of n is equal to x1 of n plus x2 of n, where x1 of n is cos 2 pi n by 5 and x2 of n is cos 2 pi n by 7. Now we need to find the periodicity of individual signals first. Okay, x1 of n is equal to cos 2 pi n by 5, which we are going to compare with our fundamental equation cos 2 pi f naught n. Okay, comparing these two, we can write it as 2 pi f naught n is equal to 2 pi n by 5. Pi n get cancelled, will be left with f naught is equal to 2 divided by 2 into 5. 2 ones are, will be left with f naught is equal to 1 by 5. Okay, since f naught is equal to 1 by 5, which is the ratio of integer to integer, signal is periodic with a fundamental period f naught is equal to k divided by n1. Since it is with respect to x1 of n, we are marking it as f naught is equal to k by n1, which is nothing but 1 by 5, which means n1 is equal to 5. Hope you people are getting. We are comparing f naught with k by n1. It was actually k by n. We are marking it as n1 because this is with respect to our first signal, so we are marking it as n1. K by n1 is equal to 1 by 5, therefore n1 is equal to 5. Comparing these two, we get n1 is equal to 5. Similarly, x2 of n is equal to cos 2 pi n by 7, which we are going to compare with cos 2 pi f naught n. Comparing these two, we can mark it as 2 pi f naught n is equal to 2 pi n by 7. Pi n get cancelled, will be left with f naught is equal to 2 divided by 2 into 7, which will be left with 1 by 7, 2 to get cancelled. That is ratio of integer to integer. That is the ratio of integer to the integer. Hence, the second signal is also periodic with f naught is equal to 1 by 7. To find the fundamental period, f naught is equal to k by n2. Remember, n1 is with respect to x1 of n and n2 is with respect to x2 of n. F naught is equal to k by n2, which is equal to 1 by 7, which leads to n2 is equal to 7. Okay, we got n1 as 5 and n2 as 7. Since the actual signal is a comprehensive of two signals, sum of two signals, to check the periodicity, we need to write it as n1 by n2. We need to check the ratio of n1 by n2. The ratio of n1 by n2 is n1 is 5 and n2 is 7. That is again a ratio of integer to integer. Okay, now we got n1 by n2 as 5 by 7, which is the ratio of integer to the integer. Hence the signal is periodic. X of n is periodic with n1 by n2 is equal to 5 by 7. With the first expression fundamental period 5, for the second expression fundamental period is 7. Hope you people got the idea of periodicity of signal for discrete time signals with the cosine values. If you have any doubts, please do put a message on my Dropbox. We'll be connected. Okay, thank you.